You've probably heard the discussion before, how analog hardware synthesizers are a waste of money nowadays, that digital software has taken over. But on the other hand, die-hard analog fans are confident in that nothing will ever beat analog. There's just something special about it, and digital will never sound as good. So I decided to get some and put it to the test for myself. As I said, I've never tried any hardware synths. I've used only software since I was like 14, so 8 years. But I've started using more and more software that emulates analog synths. For instance, a synth called Diva. It's been my most used synth for the last year. So I thought it was time to put it to the test, and I thought I'd share my super professional science test with you guys. But before we get into it, let me know if you've ever tried hardware synths and what your thoughts are on the debate. I'd love to read some hefty discussion. So this is the Moog Subsequent 37, and this is the DSI Prophet 6. These are the ones I was recommended the most when asking around, and they're from two legendary synthesizer companies. It sounded like a good idea, so here we are. This is how the default preset in Serum sounds, one of the most popular software synths of today. And this is the initial preset of the Moog. I thought I'd start with going through some sounds I made today just to give you guys a picture of how it sounds. So I'll give all of these away, plus a lot more that I've been making from the last week in like a sort of sample pack. For those of you guys who are interested. It's not that it sounds so different to what you'd find in a preset bank in Serum. I think it'd be pretty difficult to hear if a sound is digital or analog, but that's not the point for me at least. If I wanted some fat, warm sounds, I would make them in Diva, and that would work pretty well. It does go a bit faster, like getting the sounds you want on the hardware synths though, I'll admit, but regarding the end result, I probably wouldn't be able to hear the difference. So now I thought I'd show you guys one sequence made with software and one with hardware, and let me know which one you think is made with which. This is the number A. And B. Regardless of the result, what does matter to me though is like the creative aspect of it. You're just so much more likely to mess up and do things you usually wouldn't when you have to turn all these knobs and test your way through the sounds. It's a lot of fun as well. That's the biggest thing, to be honest. It's just a different approach, and I love pressing buttons, pretending to know what I'm doing. Now, there are a few downsides to these. My hair is like 25% more gray after trying to get them to work at all. And in parallel and record sequences properly and stuff like that, things just take a lot more time. So that's probably just me being stupid, but things like saving sounds, recording and managing sequences, it does take a lot of time and effort. Also, the price tag of these things, they just can't not be mentioned. They run for like 10 times the usual amount a software synth costs. I think these two cost about the same amount as all of my software synths combined, which is pretty hefty. Is it worth it for most people? Probably not. Is it worth it for me? Probably not, but we'll see. I'll keep you guys updated and let you know as I start making songs with these. So subscribe, and thank you guys so much for watching.